Stops you there for a second.
There we go.
There we go.
Good. All right, welcome to the July 25th Village Council meeting. For all those that can, please stand and say the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Gates. Here. Kaiser. Here. LaRosa.
I am here.
Matley. Here. Thatcher.
Here.
Zimmerman.
Here.
All right, approval of the minutes from July 11th. I think this is all on one page. Anything on page one?
Yes.
Sorry, Shirley.
One job.
The sentence that starts with, we don't know when we are going, and all it has is a T, so we need an O there.
All right, page two. Page three. We have a motion to approve the minutes from July 11th as written.
So moved.
Second,
Gates.
yes.
Kaiser.
Yes.
LaRosa.
Abstain.
Matley.
Yes.
Thatcher.
Yes.
Zimmerman.
Yes.
Any questions on tonight's agenda? Have a motion to approve the agenda as written.
So moved.
Second.
Gates.
Yes.
Kaiser.
Yes.
LaRosa.
Yes.
Matley. Yes. Thatcher.
Yes.
Zimmerman.
Yes.
I hope you don't have dinner reservations, Brian.
Already had dinner here in the village tonight. I'm all set. They were
We
great.
did it.
Well, I saw a former council member where I had dinner tonight, so you could have had dinner where I did. Anyway, sort of the theme of my report tonight, zoning, back on the zoning train. Lots of things happening. You know, the first is, you know, there was the Miranda Home Planning and Zoning Commission meeting. So I'm helping work through some of the issues that came to be after that meeting to sort of deal with those and get ready for the next planning commission meeting that will be coming. I believe it's next month. I don't remember the date, but I think we'll be having
23rd.
August 23rd. We'll be having it then next month, and that'll be back on the agenda for that meeting. So working through those. Second thing is the Berlin Business Park JED. This came to my attention. I think I was the one who might have been forwarded. But anyway, there is a Berlin Business Park compensation agreement. It is only in draft form right now. I sent a copy of it to council. It came to me a week or two ago. I actually spoke with, I believe it was the council for Delaware County Finance Authority because the agreement was forwarded to me. I took a look at the draft compensation agreement and then went back to actually the Evans Farm JED agreement. Council can take a look. There's no action that you'll need tonight on this Berlin Business Park compensation agreement, but in essence, what it does is it outlines how the money will flow. I mean, to put it in its most simplistic of terms. And if you remember from the Evans Farm JED, that's how the money flowed was one part of the entire agreement. So my understanding is the townships and Delaware County Finance Authority have been working generally on things for a while, for a long while now. And the fruits of those discussions are this compensation agreement. What they like to see is this compensation agreed to, because then it will be how the money flows for all either future JEDs or one JED where other parcels are assembled to. What do you want to think about right now? I mean, there is no real assemblage of the parcels. I mean, it's this grand plan in theory that's in place. So what the entities want to do and what they want the village to be part of is agreeing to this compensation agreement. So then when parcels are assembled and the JED comes together, the whole agreement, you know, who's on the JED board, how are those things, those will be worked out. But any true agreement will have this compensation as that portion of it. So this will always be included in any future JEDs or an expansion of any originally created JED. There's a map that's referenced in that agreement. I'm trying to get a copy of that right now. It wasn't sent along with the draft I have. And I also, when conversations I've had with folks, there was an incentive agreement that was, I believe, has been agreed to between the townships and Delaware County Financing Authority. I think it has something to do with this compensation agreement and maybe some other tangential issues with respect to properties that may come into the JED and how the income tax that will be applied and how money will be divvied up. So I'm in the process of trying to get a copy of that incentive agreement as well for myself, and then I'll pass it on to council. So I would imagine that action will be needed sometime in the very near future on this, because I think the townships are preparing to take a look and vote on this. I will say, and the individual I talked to was very candid up front with me, which I appreciated, but I mean, I did throw the question out there with respect to the compensation agreement. Is there a lot of room for negotiation still with this from the village's standpoint? And the answer to that, fortunately or unfortunately, is no. I think that, but I mean, and I don't, that's not necessarily a bad thing. I mean, I think you need to know that, I needed to know that, because we are just one port of what will be the JED, and that is the income tax portion of it. So, I mean, the simplest terms here, there's obviously the village will be collecting the income tax plus an additional 1% to pay RETA for their processing. And then there is money after the mandatory things are taken out. The village does have a small portion of the actual JED revenue that would be coming in, similar to Evans Farm JED. That's a smaller portion, but I mean, this eventually is set to be a much larger JED. So probably the economies of that, I don't know, but in theory, they will weigh out, and this potentially could generate even more money. Sure, more than the 94 cents we received so far from Evans Farm. That's almost been guaranteed to me, but no promises. But that's where we are with that. But I wanted to get you guys a copy of that so you saw it. Like I said, if you have some questions or something, let me know. But I mean, really, this compensation agreement only spells out just really the funding mechanisms when a dollar were to come in and how it would flow through. But I do think eventually Delaware County Finance and the townships will want you to take a look at this and actually approve it. And then we'll wait and see if we can ever actually get a parcel or parcels assembled to create a true JED. So that's where we are with that. That's a nutshell of the BBP JED.
That it?
That's it.
Any questions?
Any questions? Any other questions?
I mean, it is preliminary, but this is exactly what we talked. I mean, this goes back, say, 2 months. I think we met with trustee of Berlin Township, and then, in my opinion, I think this obviously shows that we're a pretty valuable partner when these JEDs come to fruition in Delaware County.
There's no doubt about it. I mean, I think they will always be looking to the village for it.
Yep. All right. Thank you very much.
All right. Thank you.
Administrator report, Miranda has resubmitted for planning and zoning next month. Looks like they're down to 27 houses. And I'll completely admit, I haven't had time to look at the plan yet. So I counted the houses real quick. I haven't really gone through it in detail. So I don't have any answers to any questions for that right now. Equity's moving along. Starting to look like a building down there. They have an inspection tomorrow for water and hydrants. Mark and I will be down there, but it seems to be moving along well. I haven't heard, I know Matt the Miller's pulled out down there, so I haven't heard who was going in to replace the restaurant anchor, but hopefully I'll have news on that soon. Tree trimming, we sent a bunch of letters out a couple months ago. The majority of the people we sent letters to have complied. They've cut trees back from the side of the road. I think there's about 3 or 4 locations now. I know Wilma, there's a lot at the north end that they haven't responded or we can't get a hold of the owners. So Concord Township, we've spoken with them. They're going to cut some things back because they have the specific mower to be able to do that. Just if anyone's watching and owns those properties, I urge you to do it, because if we do it, it's not going to look pretty. It's a giant mower that essentially just snips it all down. And we're not going to clean up after it. We'll get it out of the road, but we're just going to push it back on the property. Shawnee Hill's in bloom. That's going well. I want to thank everyone that planted the flowers at the municipal building. Straders donated a bunch of things to plant. I know they planted a lot more flowers at the Rock. Starting to look pretty good. We have a meeting next week with I guess the beginning of a Main Street committee to plan some events, looking towards Halloween, it being the first event, and really kind of coordinating trick or treat and what the police department does with the tailgate and kind of bring it all together for maybe a fun evening there. So more to come on that. A lot of time on the JED. I'm reading about one of every 2 emails Brian's been sending me, so he's been really busy on that. I'm joking. I just can't keep up with Brian. So like he said, the JED, my conversations with them is it's a lot more than the 91 cents we've gotten from Evan Farm so far. And it has potential for more JEDs. And I'll stress what Brian said. It's pretty much a take it or leave it contract for us at this point. But it's a gateway into future JEDs. So our participation in that, I think will signal that we want to be a good partner. We want to work with everybody. So looking forward to getting that moving. That's all I have from admin.
Question. When Concord Township comes and cuts the trees, okay, they bring that machine in. On Miami and Old Tangy, can they cut that grass because it's 3 or 4 feet tall? Well, where we cut the tree down on that one lot, that single lot.
That's a separate issue because we have an ordinance about grass cutting, so I will defer to Mark.
Okay.
And I'll get with Mark.
The slope of it is where Richard said it's so tall now, or more, he can't get the thing through.
Convenient.
It's literally 4 foot tall.
Okay.
So,
yeah. I will ask.
If they're gonna bring that in, it's just down and over. It's like,
And there are actually trees involved in that on the one side of the road too.
yeah, there is in there.
Because there's a bunch of, because they've just grown up
Yeah,
from,
yeah.
they are the same kind of thing you're talking about in Wilma there.
Okay. I will ask. I know our ordinance specifically, there's 2 different things, so
I know this.
we'll do what we can.
Yeah. Since I lived down there, I hear about it a lot.
Any word on brewery?
Nothing on the brewery. I haven't heard from, he hasn't been in, so no. Nothing on the brewery. Nothing on the bogey either. I met with Muirfield a couple weeks ago about the traffic light. They weren't excited to hear that there was a traffic light coming in, but after the conversation, I think they're excited about it now. So what they can do with the lot, and haven't heard anything back. So I have no idea what they're doing there. Moving on to the police chief stuff. I brought it back here, but we received an award from the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children for our department's training and preparedness for missing and responses we've had to missing children over the last calendar year. So it's a nice glass award sitting back there. Has fingerprints all over it now. Next week, I'll be presenting a block at the Ohio Homeland Security Safety Symposium. So people from all over the country coming in for it, but I'll be presenting a missing children's block down there at the downtown Columbus Convention Center. Been a day. And then just working on the budget for 2023. We discussed the finances. I'm not going to take away Renee's steam from the finance committee meeting today. We're looking good for 2022. Hopefully it continues into 2023, but the cost of living is looking a little high for next year. So I think we're going to speak and see what we can do for the employees to make sure we kind of meet at least something close to the cost of living rate. So that's all I have.
Any questions for us? All right, thanks, sir. All right, any visitors tonight? Questions?
Should I go up?
Yep.
So I'm with the health department. My name is Candace. I just have a couple flyers here from the health department to let you guys know, and I'll send e-copies of them as well. One of them was a couple days ago for latex paint and other like household items that people can take to get off, their property or out of their basement. But they do have a couple permanent locations, not very close to you guys, Knox County, and then there's one in Columbus. Do you guys have anything like that closer to? I know Marysville does, so that's probably closer than Knox County would be. So yeah, not super convenient, but there's the information. And then recycling, I guess they opened up more available items to recycle. So like sour cream, butter, those kind of containers. So they're branching out. So there's that one. And then I think this is just for residents of the county to fill out. It's a Delaware housing survey. They can be entered to win a $75 gas card if they fill it out. So I saw that you guys posted the other flyers on your website, so that was awesome. And then a new program that the health department just launched recently is a lactation service. So if any women who maybe don't have access to or can't get appropriate care can access this, it is free of cost to anyone. Or if any providers would like to be part of a breastfeeding coalition, they also are starting that up. So there's a bigger meeting in September that they're doing for that.
Thank you very much. Any questions? Communications, I'll echo Russ with the Village of Bloom. Craig Baldridge puts an extraordinary amount of time and effort into this. And I mean, this is just in the beginning stages. I think this is really going to snowball. And I think it's really, the village will be much better looking as this gains steam. So I want to commend him for the work that the people that he assembled, the work that they put in. It really does look great. I think we will owe him greatly. And that's really everything I have. I've been involved with Brian's emails on the planning stuff, and so that obviously is a work in progress. So.
Nothing on the pro tem report.
Committees?
Finance met tonight prior to our council meeting. We reviewed the budget so far. This year, our revenues are up, RETA revenues are up. They've been up the last couple of years, probably attributed to more people working from home and filing all their income tax here in Shawnee Hills. And Russ already mentioned, well, we'll be looking next year at the budget, and surely we'll be working on that in the future. So we'll talk about that at future meetings.
Any other committees? Legislative actions. This is a first reading ordinance 17-2022. An ordinance to reappropriate funds for current expenses and other expenditures of the Village of Shawnee Hills, State of Ohio during the fiscal year ending December 31st, 2022, and declare an emergency. Any questions on these bills? Do I have a motion to suspend with the second and third reading and declare this an emergency?
So moved.
Second.
Gates?
Yes.
Eisner?
Yes.
LaRosa?
Yes.
Bentley?
Yes.
Thatcher?
Yes.
Zimmerman?
Yes.
Motion to adopt ordinance 17-2022 as an emergency?
So moved.
Second.
Gates?
Yes.
Eisner?
Yes.
LaRosa?
Yes.
Bentley?
Yes.
Thatcher?
Yes.
Zimmerman?
Yes.
So we looked at the bills. Do I have a motion to pay the bills in the amount of $24,347.83?
So moved.
Second.
Gates?
Yes.
Eisner?
Yes.
LaRosa?
Yes.
Bentley?
Yes.
Thatcher?
Yes.
Zimmerman?
Yes.
Treasury report?
General fund, $337,083.50. Street fund, $439,289.47. State highway, $26,955.87. TV body armor, $2,753.48. Continuing professional training, $2,535.48. Evans Farm Judd, 91 cents. Drug law enforcement, $534.41. Indigent drivers, $385.84. Law Enforcement Trust, $8,957.75. American Rescue Plan, $63,418.14. Enforcement Education, $1,245.85. Fire Fund, $62,708.08. TIF, $78,693.46. TIF 2, $27,718.62. Police District Fund, $189,221.83. Veterans Memorial, $248.97. Sewer operating, $54,783.23. Sewer replacement, $13,036.08. Storm sewer, $15,614.29.
Debt service, $134,683.82 for a total of $1,459,860.70.
A motion to approve the treasurer's report is written.
So moved.
Second.
Gates,
Yes.
Item,
Yes.
Rosa,
Yes.
Manning,
Yes.
Stecker,
Yes.
Zimmerman.
Yes.
All right, anybody with any miscellaneous business? Okay, do I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Sorry.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?